Fast am I. Good evening and welcome to the Manx Radio Folk Show with me, John Barker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world. I was really heartened the other day to read in the newspaper that Noddy Holder's wife said he gets up every Christmas morning and shouts "It's Christmas" around the house. Mind you, it earns him something like £1 million a year, so I'm not totally surprised. If there's a folky equivalent, it must be Bob Dylan and this song.
Who's got a beard that's long and white?
Santa's got a beard that's long and white.
Who comes round on special night?
Santa comes around on special night.
Special night, beard that's white. Must be Santa, must be Santa, must be Santa, Santa Claus. Who wears boots and suit of red?
Santa wears boots and suit of red.
Who wears a long cap on his head?
Santa wears a long cap on his head.
Cap on head, suit that's red. Special night, beard that's white. Must be Santa, must be Santa, must be Santa, Santa Claus. Who's got a big red cherry nose?
Santa's got a big red cherry nose.
Who laughs this way, ho, ho, ho?
Santa laughs this way, ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 cherry nose, cap on head, suit that's red, special night, beard that's right. Must be Santa, must be Santa, must be Santa, Santa Claus. Ooh, very soon will come my way.
Santa very soon will come our way.
8 little reindeers pull a sleigh.
Santa's little reindeer pulled a sleigh.
Reindeer sleigh, come our way. Ho, 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 cherry nose, cap on head, suit that's red, special night, beard that's white. Must be Santa, must be Santa, must be Santa, Santa Claus.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Carter, Reagan, Bush, and Clinton. Reindeer sleigh, come our way.
Ho, 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 cherry nose, cap on head, suit that's red, special night, beard that's white. Must be Santa, must be Santa, must be Santa, Santa Claus. Must be Santa, must be Santa, must be Santa, Santa Claus.
The Perfect Christmas Eve song by Bob Dylan from his album Christmas in the Heart. I must admit I haven't really listened to the rest of the album, I just love that one track. And tonight, of course, is Christmas Eve, so most of the show is Christmas themed. Though as we don't have a show next week on New Year's Eve, the last 20 minutes is New Year's music. You can of course download the podcast of this show from the Manx Radio website or Apple Podcasts or even on YouTube. And you can listen to the Christmas section, the Boxing Day section and the New Year's section all separately if you so wish. In the meantime, here's Ring Out Solstice Bells. Yes, that Jethro Tull classic, but this time done by A Winter Union from an album that came out last year, and it features members of Gilmore and Roberts, Hannah Sanders and Ben Savage, and the Willows.
Now is the solstice of the year. Winter is the gladsome cheer. 7 maids move in 7 time. Have joined together neath the mistletoe. By the holy oak where all it grows. Seven druids dance the seventh time. Sing the song that bells call loudly chime. Ring out these bells. Ring out, ring solstice bells. Ring solstice bells. Ring out, ring solstice bells. Ring out, ring solstice bells. Ring out, ring solstice bells. Praise be to the distant sister sun, joyful as the silver planets run. Seven stars move in seven time. Sing the song the bells call loudly chime. Ring out these bells. Ring out, ring solstice bells. Ring solstice bells. Ring out these bells. Ring out, ring solstice bells. Ring solstice bells. Ring out, ring out, ring out, ring out, ring
Now, Christmas means different things to different people, and for some it's a very difficult time of year. For me, the focus is food and family, and it's going to be great having both our sons home this Christmas. In celebration of the food, here is Rondo a la Turkey by Belshazzar's Feast, that duo of the late Paul Sartin and the piano accordionist Paul Hutchinson. We may need to temporarily ignore the fact that it actually means the Turkish march and pretend that it's about the bird. But it's a great piece of music. This is actually from an album called Umbrello Head from 2010, where the members of Bellowhead, and Paul Sartin was one such, contributed tracks from their other projects. There's a lovely new seasonal album out this year called Great Joy to the New by Janice Burns and John Doran. And I'm going to play 2 tracks from it in the show tonight. This first one is The Trees Are All Bare.
The trees are all bare, not a leaf to be seen, and the meadows their beauty have lost. Now winter has come, and 'tis cold for man and beast, and the streams they are,
The streams they
are fast bound down with frost. 'Tis down on the farmyard where the oxen feed on straw, and they send forth their breath like the steam. Sweet Betsy, the milkmaid, now quickly she must go, for flakes of ice she finds, for flakes of ice she finds, a floating on her cream. 'Tis now all the small birds to the barn door fly for food, and gently they rest on the spray. Down the plantation the hares do search for food, and they lift their footsteps sure, they lift their footsteps sure, for fear they do betray. Done, for we soon shall have the turning of the year. So fill up your glasses and let the health go round, for we wish you all, we wish you all a joyful new year. We wish you all a joyful new year.
Well, we wish you all a joyful new year. The New Year's section of this show is the last 20 minutes or so. But for now, we'll continue with some Christmas music. This is one of my very best friends, Pete Lum, playing guitar along with Bernard Osborne and Charles Gard. And this is from the album that was released a long time ago now, Ciall Manina. And the tunes in this selection are Iggin uns Bethlehem, The Child in Bethlehem, Carvel Girl in Berna, The Carol of the White Boys, and Craig Willie Sill, Willie Sylvester's Rock. Well, I could only hear Pete on guitar there and Bernard on violin. I'm not sure what Charles was doing that particular track, but I'm sure he was involved in some way. The next two tracks are all about things that happened on Christmas Day. And first up is a great favourite of mine and many of my friends, Arthur McBride by Andy Irvine and Paul Brady.
Oh, me and my cousin one Arthur McBride, as we went a walking down by the seaside. Now mark what followed and what did betide, for it being on Christmas morning. Out for recreation we went on a tramp, and we met Sergeant Napper and Corporal Vamp, and a little wee drummer intending to camp, for the day being pleasant and charming. Good morning, the sergeant did cry, and the same to you gentlemen we did reply, intending no harm but meant to pass by, for it being on Christmas morning. But says he, my fine fellows, if you will enlist, it's 10 guineas in gold I will slip in your fist, and a crown in the bargain for to kick up the dust and drink the king's health in the morning. For a soldier he leads a very fine life, and he always is blessed with a charming young wife, and he pays all his debts without sorrow or strife, and always lives pleasant and charming. And a soldier he always is decent and clean, in the finest of clothing he's constantly seen, while other poor fellows go dirty and mean, and sup on thin gruel in the morning. But says Arthur, I wouldn't be proud of your clothes, for you've only the lend of them, as I suppose, and you dare not change them one night, for you know if you do, you'll be flogged in the morning. And although that we are single and free, we take great delight in our own company, and we have no desire strange faces to see, although that your offers are charming. And we have no desire to take your advance, all hazards and dangers we bar to run chance, for you would have no scruples for to send us to France, where we would get shot without warning. Oh, now says the sergeant, I'll have no such chat, and I neither will take it from spalpeen or brat, for if you insult me with one other word, I'll cut off your heads in the morning. And then Arthur and I, we soon drew our saw their own blades when a trusty shillelagh came over their heads and bade them take that as fair warning. And their own rusty rapiers that hung by their side, we flung them as far as we could in the tide. Now take them out, devils, cried Arthur MacBride, and temper their edge in the morning. And the little wee drummer, we flattened his bow, and we made a football of his rowdy-dow-dow. Threw it in the tide for to rock and to roll, and bade it a tedious returning. And we haven't known money, paid them off in cracks, and we paid no respect to their two bloody backs, while we lathered them there like a pair of wet sacks, and left them for dead in the morning. And so to conclude and to finish disputes, we obligingly asked if they wanted recruits, while we were the lads who would give them hard clothes and bid them look sharp in the morning. Oh, me and my cousin one Arthur MacBride, as we went a-walking down by the seaside. Now Marco what followed and what did betide, for it being on Christmas morning.
Always wonderful to hear that track. The second song relating to matters happening on Christmas Day is in fact the second track from the Janice Burns and John Doran new album, Great Joy to the New, and it's called Derby Ram.
As I was going to Derby upon a Christmas day, it was there I met the finest ram that ever was fed on hay. Well, he had 4 feet to walk, sir, he had 4 feet to stand, and every foot that he did have, it covered a mile of land. And indeed, my lads, it's true, I never was known to lie, and if you'd have been in Derby, you'd have seen the same as I. Now the horns that grew on this ram's head, they reached up to the moon, and a boy went up in April, and he didn't come down till June. Now the horns that grew on this ram's head, they grew so mighty wide that a coach and 6 could go betwixt with a footman by the side. And indeed, my lads, it's true, I never was known to lie, and if you'd have been in Derby, you'd have seen the same as I. Now this old ram, he had a tail, it reached right down to hell, and every time he waggled it, it rang the old church bell. And the butcher that killed this ram, sir, was up to his knees in blood, and 24 butcher boys were drowned all in the flood. And the flood, it run for 40 miles, sure it run no more. It turned the biggest water wheel that ever was turned before. And indeed, my lads, it's true, I never was known to lie, and if you'd have been in Derby, you'd have seen the same as I. Now all the kids in Derby come begging for his eyes to kick about in Derby town, for they were a football size. And if you don't believe me and think it all a lie, well, you go down to Derby town and you'll see the same as I. And indeed, no lads, it's true, I never was known to lie, and if you'd have been in Derby, you'd have seen the same as I. And indeed, my lads, it's true, I never was known to lie, and if you'd have been in Derby, well, you go down to Derby and you'll see same as I.
Well, they've convinced me. That certainly must have been quite a ram. Now, moving on now to December the 26th, St. Stephen's Day, Boxing Day, call it what you will. Of course, here on the Isle of Man, it's the day of Hunt the Wren, when communities come together across the island to dance and sing around the streets. The practice, dating back to pre-Christian times, is centred on the wren, the king of all birds, which is hunted and then danced through the streets on a special pole. Of course, it's not a real wren these days. Here is the song Hunt the Wren, performed by Star, S-T-A-A, or is it Stay? Someone will let me know, but lots of familiar voices to be heard on this recording.
We'll away to the woods, says Robin the Bobbin, away to the woods, says everyone. We'll away to the woods, says Robin the Bobbin, away to the woods, says Richard the Robin, away to the woods, says Jack of the Land, away to the woods, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. What shall we do there, says Robin the Bobbin, what shall we do there, says Richard the Robin, what shall we do there, says Jack of the Land, what shall we do there, says everyone. We'll hunt the wren, says Robin the Bobbin, we'll hunt the wren, says Richard the Robin, we'll hunt the wren, says Jack of the Land, we'll hunt the wren, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. I see him, says Robin the Bobbin, I see him, says Richard the Robin, I see him, says Jack of the Land, I see him, says everyone. In yonder green bush, says Robin the Bobbin, in yonder green bush, says Richard the Robin, in yonder green bush, says Jack of the Land, in yonder green bush, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. How we get him down, says Robin the Bobbin, how we get him down, says Richard the Robin, how we get him down, says Jack of the Land, how we get him down, says everyone. With sticks and stones, says Robin the Bobbin, with sticks and stones, says Richard the Robin, with sticks and stones, says Jack of the Land, with sticks and stones, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. How we get him home, says Robin the Bobbin, how we get him home, says Richard the Robin, how we get him home, says Jack of the Land, how we get him home, says everyone. In the brewer's big cart, says Robin the Bobbin, the brewer's big cart, says Richard the Robin, the brewer's big cart, says Jack of the Land, the brewer's big cart, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. How we get him coops, says Robin the Bobbin, how we get him coops, says Richard the Robin, how we get him coops, says Jack of the Land, how we get him coops, says everyone. In the brewer's big pan, says Robin the Bobbin, in the brewer's big pan, says Richard the Robin, the brewer's big pan, says Jack of the Land, the brewer's big pan, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. Who stand the driver, says Robin the Bobbin, who stand the driver, says Richard the Robin, who stand the driver, says Jack of the Land, who stand the driver, says everyone. Philly the tweet, says Robin the Bobbin, Philly the tweet, says Richard the Robin, Philly the tweet, says Jack of the Land, Philly the tweet, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. Well, we give our money, says Robin the Bobbin, well, we give our money, says Richard the Robin, well, we give our money, says Jack of the Land, well, we give our money, says everyone. Macmillan Relief, says Robin the Bobbin, Macmillan Relief, says Richard the Robin, Macmillan Relief, says Jack of the Land, Macmillan Relief, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. Who dine at dinner, says Robin the Bobbin, who dine at dinner, says Richard the Robin, who dine at dinner, says Jack of the Land, who dine at dinner, says everyone. The king and the queen, says Robin the Bobbin, the king and the queen, says Richard the Robin, the king and the queen, says Jack of the Land, the king and the queen, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. The eyes for the blind, says Robin the Bobbin, the legs for the lame, says Richard the Robin, the plump for the poor, says Jack of the Land, the bones for the dogs, says everyone. Where, oh where, says Robin the Bobbin, where, oh where, says Richard the Robin, where, oh where, says Jack of the Land, where, oh where, says everyone. The wren, the king of all birds, is called St. Stephen's Day in the fairs. Although he is little, his family is great. We pray good dames who give us the trait.
Well, you may have heard a few modern references added into the song there, and it's not unusual because Hunt the Wren is something that happens across the Celtic nations and indeed in England. Here's a rather humorous take on it called Hunting the Cutty Wren by the Mrs. Ackroyd Band. They were based in Manchester and were centred around Les Barker. the humorous poet and singer who died just last year. They were named after a mongrel belonging to him and featured at different times many great artists. Here Martin Carthy and June Tabor take the lead, backed by Norma Waterson, Layla Davis, Alison Younger and Eliza Carthy, on the band's 1990 album Oranges and Lemmings. Les Barker noted that this song was made popular by the late Percy Stupid Sedgwick, the last of the very thin Barnoldswick wren hunters.
Where are you going, said Milder to Moulder.
Where are you going, or where do you go?
I'm off to the forest, said Moulder to Milder.
I'm off to the forest, all in the deep snow.
Why are you going, says Milder to Moulder.
Why are you going with all of these men?
You nosy old bleeder, said Moulder to Milder.
You nosy old bleeder, we're hunting the wren.
24 hunters, says Milder to Moulder.
Yet you never catch one, won't you tell me how?
It's a bloody small target, said Moulder to Milder.
It's a bloody small target, you stupid old cow.
Why do you do it, says Milder to Moulder.
Why do you do it, says the whining old voice.
I know it sounds silly, said Moulder to Milder.
It's an old pagan custom and we've got no choice.
Would you walk in the forest, says Milder to Moulder. Will
You walk in the forest like an old pagan man.
We'll go in my motor, said Moulder to Milder.
I've got a Toyota, it's a four-wheel drive van.
Where have you been, says Milder to Moulder.
Where have you been, won't you tell to me?
Hunting the wren, said Moulder to Milder.
Hunting the wren, has your memory gone?
Pray have you got one, says Milder to Moulder.
Pray have you got one, please tell I'm all ears.
Yes, we're enraptured, said Moulder to Milder.
It's the first one we've captured for 2,000 years.
Where did you catch it, says Milder to Moulder.
Where did you catch it? Oh, pray tell to me.
We got it at Safeway, said Moulder to Milder.
We got it at Safeway for 55p.
It's not very big though, says Milder to Moulder.
Won't need much stuffing, I don't see the sense.
Of course it's not big though, said Moulder to Milder.
It's one of the salient features of wrens.
You should have got a chicken, says Milder to Moulder. A chicken or a turkey,
or maybe a joint.
We should have got chicken, said Moulder to Milder.
You silly old woman, you're missing the point.
So why hunt the wren then, says Milder to Moulder.
Why hunt the wren then if it's such a small thing?
It's an old pagan custom, said Moulder to Milder.
And hunting the sausage don't have the same ring.
Where are you going, says Milder to Moulder.
Where are you going, says Milder again.
Off to the Arndale, said Moulder to Milder.
To open a shop called Kentucky Fried Wren.
Right, we're going into the New Year's section of the show. New Year's Day, I've read, was often called Little Christmas, and fiddlers would go from house to house and rouse the occupants with music, and their wives would follow the next day for payment, usually in the form of food or drink. The English tune The Hunt Is Up was a favourite apparently, and here's a snippet of it from an album called Tudor Court Music from the time of the Mary Rose. The next track is New Year Waltz by Christina Alden and Alex Patterson from their album Hunter from a few years ago, and of course they're coming to the Isle of Man in March. I'll remind you about that in the new year. In Allendale in Northumbria, on New Year's Eve, 45 men parade with flaming tar barrels on their head. Some believe that the festival has pagan origins stretching back to the Middle Ages. The father of Rachel and Becky Unthank wrote a song about this event called Tar Barrel in Dale. It's become a feature of their sets, sung a cappella, and also a bit of a classic for New Year's Eve. They've got a new album out with a new version of it recorded on there. The album's called In Winter. This is the Unthanks' Tar Barrel in Dale.
Tar barrel in Dale, fire in snow, toast the new year, bid farewell to the old year out, the new year in. Please won't you let the lucky bird in, with bottle in hand and a piece of black coal, a stranger's a friend when first footing you go. Tar barrel in Dale, fire in snow, toast the new year, bid farewell to the old. At midnight's approach, the band
procession of guises draws near, with friends and good company, with voices so clear, singing in harmony, bringing in the new year. Top Arundel, fire in snow, toast the new year, bid farewell to the old. Off the heads of the geysers, the blazing barrels are hurled onto the bonfire, smoke sparks and flames swirl. Amidst cheers and rejoicing, the rites of old Father Time will link hands together, sing Auld Lang Syne. Top Arundel, fire in snow, toast the new year, bid farewell to the old. Throughout the year, when we sing this song, with old friends and new friends, sing along. May good fortune be with you, from all sorrows refrain, till that happy time when we all meet again. Top Arundel, fire in snow, toast the new year, bid farewell to the old. Top Arundel, fire in snow, toast the new year, bid farewell to the old.
A seasonal album released last year was Wessel Bobs by Bryony Griffiths and Alice Jones. And from that album, this is the Tailor's Breeches and New Year's Day.
Come, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen unto me, I'll sing you a song of the North Country. In a village near to Whitby town, a tailor once did dwell, and women, wine and company, he loved them right well. A dance on New Year's evening the tailor did attend. I'm sure that he would never have gone if he could see the end. The poor little tailor, he will never forget that night, for never yet was tailor seen in such a sorry plight. He danced and he sang, he got whiskey many a tot. Your jolly little tailor was the merriest of the lot. To the lady he was dancing with, the tailor he declared, if you lend to me your petticoats, I'll dance like a maid. His breeches he put off and a petticoat put on. The maid the tailor's breeches she quickly did adorn. The fiddler then did play for them a merry, merry tune. She danced his money watch and breeches clean out the room. Breeches back, the tailor loudly called. Oh, bring me my breeches back, my money, watch and all. The company there assembled with laughter they did roar, when the little tailor's petticoats fell down upon the floor. Lord, said the tailor, wherever thou may be, oh Lord, said the tailor, have pity on me. What to do the little tailor, he really didn't know, for his little shirt was far too short to cover all below. 'Twas then the fiddler played a tune for all that he was worth. The tune he played, the tailor, was the famed cock of the north. The ladies were delighted and they loudly shouted no when the tailor took his trilby hat to cover Uncle Joe. When at last the tailor got out into the street, a bevy of fair damsels he chanced for to meet. All the ladies screamed with laughter when the tailor did appear. They wished him Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That poor little tailor those ladies did address. Says he, it is not ladylike to laugh at a man's distress. Said the ladies to the tailor, give us no more of that. If you call yourself a gentleman, why don't you raise your hat? In that village near to Whitby town, there's old men living yet. They'll tell you of that famous dance they never will forget. Old ladies too will tell to you the dance they loved the best was the dance the little tailor showed his cuckoo's nest.
Well, as I say, there's no folk show next week on New Year's Eve, but I'll be back on January the 7th. In the meantime, there's lots of live music for your entertainment. Of course, on St. Stephen's Day, the 26th of December, there'll be Hunt the Wren events across the island. The normal Ramsey session is happening on Friday the 27th, and there may well be a session on Sunday the 29th of December. On Wednesday the 1st of January, there's an O'Donnell's session, 8:45. Thursday the 2nd at the Mitre, it's their anniversary session, marking 25 years. And on Sunday the 5th of January, Laxey Sailing Club. I'm going to leave you with a bit of Tom Waits. Yes, I know it's not very folky, but I do love Tom Waits, and this is a typical Tom Waits story of a New Year's Eve. So as I say, I'll be back on January the 7th to play more folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world, and I do hope you'll join me then. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The door was open, I was seething. Your mother burst in, it was freezing. She said it looks like it's trying to rain. I was lost, I felt seasick. You convinced me that he'd left. You said keep talking, but don't use any names. I scolded your driver and your brother. We're old enough to know how long you've been hooked, and we've all been to the war, and each time you score, someone gets hauled in and cuffed and booked. It felt like 4 in the morning. What sounded like fireworks turned out to be just what it was. The stars looked like diamonds, and then came the sirens, and everyone started to cuss. All the noise was disturbing, and I couldn't find Irving. It was like 2 stations on at the same time.